Hello students, welcome back to the online class of Simstar Global School. Myself Pratima Singh, and this video is the revision of chapter 15 of geography, that is rotation and revolution.
So we will start our video with the topic rotation. So the first point says that Earth rotates on its axis. So the spinning of the Earth on its axis from west to east is termed as Earth's rotation. An axis is an imaginary line running through the middle of an object. One rotation of the Earth takes exactly 24 hours and is called a solar day. Then in the second point it is written that axis is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree and 66.5 degree with orbit plane. So what does it mean? That the Earth's axis is not exactly vertical but inclined at an angle of 23.5 degree from the vertical. It makes an angle of 66.5 degree with its orbital plane. Now what is orbital plane? The area that is formed by the orbit is known as orbital plane. Orbit is the imaginary line on which the Earth revolves around the Sun. Then the rotation causes day and night. Due to the Earth's rotation, the Sun appears to move across the sky from east to west. The Earth's rotation is also responsible for the daily cycle of day and night. Earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. We have studied this point. Then circle of illumination. What is circle of illumination? Due to the spherical shape of the Earth, only one half of it gets light from the Sun at a time, while the other half remains in darkness. And the circle that divides the lighted part of the Earth from the part in darkness is known as the circle of illumination. In this slide you can see the image of circle of illumination, that the black portion and the yellow portion, it is night and day, and this circle of illumination divides this part into two equal halves. The circle that divides day from night on the Earth is called the circle of illumination. Now let's move towards the next topic, that is revolution. So what is revolution? So the motion of Earth around the Sun on a fixed path or orbit is called Earth's revolution. The orbital speed of the Earth around the Sun averages about 30 km per second, and it takes 365 and 1/4 of the day to complete one revolution. This time period is what we call a year. Then the quarter days adds an extra day to the year every 4 years. That is 1/4 into 4 is equal to 1. That is one day is added in every 4 years, and in every fourth year it is 366 days in a year, and it is called a leap year, and it is just because of the revolution. And which month of the year has the leap year? It is the month of February. Now in this slide we will come to know about the effect of rotation and revolution, that how the rotation causes day and night and how the revolution causes change in the season. So as we have studied that the Earth rotates on an axis which is not a vertical line but it is tilted at 23.5 degree on which the Earth rotates, and it rotates on the axis by taking 24 hours. As you can see that it is rotating on an axis. Then when the axis tilts towards the Sun, the northern hemisphere experiences summer and the southern hemisphere experiences winter. In the shaded part you can see that it is southern hemisphere, and when the revolution is completed, the half revolution is completed, then the southern hemisphere experiences summer and the northern hemisphere experiences winter. First effect of revolution is that it causes change of the seasons. And then second one is that it causes varying length of days and night. That means the duration of days and night, how it changes because of the revolution. We will come to know about that. So first let's talk about the change of the seasons. So the first point says that revolution of earth and the tilt of its axis causes the change in seasons. As we all know that the axis of the earth is tilted slightly. This causes one part of the earth to lean towards the sun and the other part to lean away from it. So, different parts of the earth's surface receives varying amount of sunlight and heat, and we have change in the seasons. The part of the year when the southern hemisphere leans towards the sun, it gets more light and heat, and this causes it to be warmer. Hence, during this time of year, the southern hemisphere experiences summer. At the same time, the northern hemisphere leans away from the sun and it receives less light and heat, so it is cooler. And the southern hemisphere enjoys summer, the northern hemisphere is in the middle of the winter. Now, the second point is about summer solstice. So, what is summer solstice? The earth is positioned in its orbit such that the north pole is leaning 23.5 degrees towards the sun. The sun is directly overhead at the Tropic of Cancer. It is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, and this position of the earth is on June 21st or June 22nd in northern hemisphere, and it is called summer solstice. Now let's talk about the winter solstice. So in the northern hemisphere, the winter solstice usually falls on 22nd December or 23rd December when the north pole is tilted away from the sun. It is the shortest day of the year in the Tropic of Cancer. The southern hemisphere has summer at this time. Now we will talk about autumnal equinox and spring equinox or vernal equinox. So first understand the meaning of equinox. So equinox is the time when we have night and day of equal length all over the earth. So the first is autumnal equinox, in which in the northern hemisphere it occurs on 23rd of September when the direct rays of the sun fall on the equator. At this position, neither of the pole is tilted towards the sun, so the whole earth experiences day and night of equal length. The southern hemisphere has spring season at this time. Now, what is vernal equinox or spring equinox? Spring equinox in the northern hemisphere occurs on 21st March when the direct rays of the sun falls on the equator again. The whole earth once again experiences day and night of equal length, but the southern hemisphere has autumn season at this time. Now let's understand the topic, the change of the seasons, through this video. Both the axis and the earth are tilted at 23.5 degrees during a revolution. The tilting of the axis results in direct sunlight falling on different places during different seasons, and this causes variation in the duration of days and night and also the seasons. So now we will talk about the relationship between the location of the overhead sun and the seasons. The revolution of the earth and tilting of the axis results in different angle of the sun during different period. When the sun is directly overhead at this time, the earth's surface and the midday sun forms a 90-degree angle. Different location of the overhead sun results in variation of the amount of sun rays received in different areas under different periods. Now we will talk about spring equinox, which occurs on 21st or 22nd of March. At this time, the overhead sun is over the equator, and the equator receives the largest amount of sunlight at this time. At this time, the northern hemisphere is in the spring equinox and the southern hemisphere is in the autumn equinox. The angle of the sun decreases towards the pole. On this day, the two hemispheres receives a similar amount of sunlight and the length of the day and night are equal at all places on the earth. After this day, it is spring in the northern hemisphere where the days are longer than the night. In the southern hemisphere, it becomes autumn when the day is shorter than the night. Now we will talk about the summer solstice. On 21st or 22nd of June, the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer and receives largest amount of sunlight. At this time, the northern hemisphere is in the summer solstice and the southern hemisphere is in the winter solstice. The angle of the sun decreases towards the pole. On this day, the length of the daytime in the northern hemisphere is the longest in the year, while that of the southern hemisphere is in the shortest in the year. Besides, there are 24 hours of daylight at the Arctic Circle and 24 hours of darkness at the Antarctic Circle. Here you can see in the image, the North Pole is having 24 hours of daylight and the South Pole is having 24 hours of darkness. Then we will come to autumn equinox, which occurs on 22nd or 23rd of September. On this day, the sun is over the equator again and the equator receives largest amount of sunlight. On this day, the northern hemisphere is on the autumn equinox and the southern hemisphere is in the spring equinox. As we know that the angle of the sun goes on decreasing towards the pole, on this day, both hemisphere receives equal amount of sunlight and the length of the day and night are once again equal at all places on the earth. After this day, it is autumn in the northern hemisphere where days are shorter than the night, and the southern hemisphere it becomes spring where the day is longer than the night. Now we will talk about the winter solstice. The winter solstice occurs on 21st or 22nd of December, where the sun is over the Tropic of Capricorn and receives the largest amount of sunlight. On this day, the northern hemisphere is in the winter solstice and the southern hemisphere is in the summer solstice. On this day, the length of the daytime in the northern hemisphere is the shortest in the year, while that of the southern hemisphere is the largest in the year. And there are 24 hours of darkness at the Arctic Circle and 24 hours of daylight at the Antarctic Circle. So from this video, you came to know about how the revolution leads to the change in the seasons. Now we will talk about the varying lengths of days and nights, that how the duration of the day and night changes. So the length of the days and nights varies from place to place even at the same time of the year. And this is also again due to the tilt of the Earth's axis. When the North Pole is inclined towards the Sun, as one goes towards the pole from the equator, the days become longer and the nights are shorter, and places beyond the Arctic Circle experiences continuous daylight for 24 hours for about 6 months. It is the summer season in the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere, which is tilted away from the sun, experiences winter. The lengths of the days are shorter and the nights are longer. Beyond the Antarctic Circle, where the sun's rays do not reach, there is continuous darkness for 24 hours for about 6 months. So now again we will study the varying lengths of days and nights through one video so that it will be easy for you to understand. So the earth is separated into two halves by an imaginary line called the equator. The area between the equator and the North Pole is the northern hemisphere, and the area between the equator and the South Pole is the southern hemisphere. As we all know, there is also an imaginary line running through the North Pole and the South Pole, that is called axis, and the earth rotates on this axis. Now let's study how the length of the day and night changes. In this image you can see that the half of the earth is facing towards the sunlight and has daytime, and half faces darkness and it is having a night time. Now in this diagram the earth's axis is straight, but is it possible? No, that's not exactly what happens. If this would be true, then half of the day will face light on the earth and half time there will be darkness on the earth. Means that there would be equal day and night all the time. So the earth is tilted at 23.5 degree. Students, it is by mistake written over there 23.3 degree, but it will be 23.5 degree. And because of this, the northern hemisphere is pointed towards the sun at this time of the year, and in this pic it is June time. Now what do you notice in the amount of light compared to the amount of darkness in the northern hemisphere? Well, the northern hemisphere now is getting more of the sunlight, and this means that days will be longer than 12 hours, while it has less darkness, which means the night will be of shorter length and it will be summer in the northern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere not always pointed towards the sunlight because earth revolves around the sun, and it takes 12 months to complete one revolution. In this diagram, half revolution is completed, which means 6 months have passed after June, that is December. Now this time in the pic it is shown that it is of December period, and in this time the northern hemisphere is pointed away from the sun. Now the amount of darkness is more, which means that the duration of the night in comparison to day will be longer, and there is a winter season in the northern hemisphere at this time. Now you all know how the duration of the day and night changes and how there is change in the season because of the revolution. Hope you have understood it properly.
So students, with this video we have completed our revision. In the next video we will do the revision of chapter 25 of social and political life. Thank you.